The quantum-shielded training facility of the Galactic Defense Academy floated in the void between Andromeda's twin suns, its crystalline structure reflecting the harsh radiation that would liquefy unprotected organic matter in microseconds. Inside, third-year cadets from 47 different species gathered in the combat simulation chamber. Their exoskeletons humming with bioelectric energy, Jassy stood apart from the crowd. Her small frame dwarfed by the towering Krathri warriors and the serpentine bulk of the Veshkari delegates. Her standard-issue academy uniform hung loosely on her shoulders, designed for species with twice her muscle density. The other cadets whispered in their native tongues, but the universal translator embedded in her neural cortex rendered every mocking word with crystal clarity. "Look at the Earthborn," hissed Commander Thexal, a four-armed Krathri whose species had mastered faster-than-light travel while humans still painted on cave walls. His mandibles clicked with amusement. Gravity-bound for 99% of their evolution. No natural armor, no venom, no telepathic coordination. I've seen larvae with better combat potential. Instructor Vermath, a crystalline luminari whose body refracted light into hypnotic patterns, joined the derision. Earth requested special accommodations for their representative. Atmospheric composition, temperature regulation, even gravitational adjustment. The Confederation agreed out of ... politeness. The word dripped with condescension. Daniel, a third-year cadet from the Terran colony on Proxima Centauri b, stood nearby. Unlike Jassy, he'd been born in 0.8 Earth gravity and had benefited from gene therapy available to colony-born humans. His enhanced musculature and bone density made him competitive with mid-tier species. He caught Jassy's eye and offered an apologetic shrug. "Don't let them get to you," he subvocalized through their private neural link channel. "You scored top percentile in theoretical xenodynamics." "Theory doesn't stop a plasma bolt," Jassy replied silently. Checking her weapons charge for the 15th time, the simulation arena materialized around them, a perfect recreation of the Vault of Forgotten Wars. A legendary structure discovered floating in the dead zone between galaxies. According to ancient records, the vault contained weapons and technologies from the first civilization, the mysterious precursors who had seeded the galaxy with the fundamental building blocks of faster-than-light technology before vanishing 3 million years ago. Today's exercise, Commander Thexal announced, his voice booming through the chamber, requires team coordination to breach the vault's defense systems and retrieve the artifact inside. The simulation is based on actual scans from the real vault, which remains sealed despite 4,000 years of attempts by our finest inorcheologists. The teams formed quickly, species naturally clustering with their own kind, united by shared biology and cultural heritage. Jassy found herself assigned to Team 7, the leftover group composed of single representatives from minor species. Daniel was on Team 3, surrounded by colony-born humans who'd never set foot on Earth. The simulation began immediately. Team 1, composed entirely of Krathri shock troops, activated their shoulder-mounted railguns and advanced on the vault's outer perimeter. The structure's defenses responded instantly. Electromagnetic pulses rippled through the air, and automated turrets emerged from hidden alcoves. Tracking targets with microsecond precision, 3 Krathari fell in the first exchange, their shields overloaded by weapons that seemed to anticipate their every tactical doctrine. Team 2, led by Luminari strategists, attempted a more sophisticated approach, using quantum entanglement to probe the vault's security protocols. The structure responded by generating counterfrequencies that shattered their crystalline sensory apparatus, eliminating them from the simulation. Team after team threw themselves at the vault's defenses. The serpentine Veshkari tried to infiltrate through microscopic gaps in the structure, only to be incinerated by defensive nanites. The telepathic Zhejian attempted a coordinated psychic assault and were met with cognitive feedback loops that left their avatars catatonic. After 47 minutes, only 3 teams remained functional. Jassy's team had survived primarily by staying out of the direct combat, observing from a distance while their more aggressive peers eliminated themselves. The Earthborn strategy, Commander Thexal announced with barely concealed contempt. Cowardice masquerading as caution. Daniel's team made their attempt, using tactics developed during the Proxima Wars. They executed a flawless multi-vector assault, combining kinetic weapons, directed energy, and quantum disruption in a synchronized strike. That would have overwhelmed any conventional defense system. The vault didn't even register the attack as threatening. A low-frequency pulse emanated from its core, and every weapon in Daniel's arsenal simply stopped functioning. Their avatars were classified as neutralized and removed from the simulation. Fascinating, Instructor Vermath observed, his crystalline form pulsing with academic interest. The Vault's defenses operate on principles we still don't fully understand. No current Confederation technology can breach its outer shell, let alone access the interior chambers. Jassy stepped forward, ignoring the derisive clicks and hisses from the observing cadets. Her team followed reluctantly. Convinced this was a futile gesture, she approached the Vault's primary access terminal, smooth obsidian surface covered in symbols that predated every known language. Her teammates suggested various approaches: brute force hacking, structural analysis, even attempting to replicate the first civilization's probable biochemistry. Jassy ignored them all. Instead, she placed her bare hand against the terminal surface and waited. "What is the Earthborn doing?" Commander Thexal demanded. "There's no biochemical scanner there, no neural interface port." "She's wasting." The vault's surface suddenly blazed with light. Ancient symbols rearranged themselves, forming patterns that made the simulation's quantum processors strain under impossible calculations. The terminal wasn't scanning Jassy's genetics or her neural patterns. It was reading something deeper, something encoded in the fundamental structure of her. BIOLGYA holographic display erupted from the terminal, showing information that sent shock waves through every instructor's monitoring station. Identity confirmed species. Homo sapiens classification, inheritor protocol activated genetic marker Terran, Primaris access level, Omega Absolutith Vault's defenses deactivated. Massive doors that had remained sealed for 4 millennia groaned open, revealing chambers filled with technology that made the Confederation's most advanced systems look like primitive tools. Commander Thexal, his mandibles hung open in shock. Impossible. The first civilization vanished 3 million years before humans evolved intelligence. There's no connection. Except there is, Instructor Vermath interrupted, his voice tight with realization. Look at the genetic timeline in the Vault's database. The holographic display expanded, showing an evolutionary map that traced humanity's origins back through the eons. But the path didn't end with natural selection on Earth. It showed something else: deliberate genetic engineering. Carefully guided mutations, protected evolution. The first civilization hadn't vanished. They'd transformed themselves, reducing their technology, scattering across a primitive world called Earth, embedding their legacy in their own DNA. They'd chosen to start over, to experience existence without the burden of godlike power. Humans were the first. Civilization's descendants, the only species in the galaxy, carrying their complete genetic inheritance. The Vault recognizes you, Jassy said softly, understanding flooding through her as the ancient database downloaded directly into her neural cortex. All of this, the weapons, the technology, the knowledge, it was locked away, waiting for us to rediscover it, waiting for humanity to reach the stars. She turned to face the assembled cadets and instructors, her eyes blazing with certainty. You called us weak, gravity-bound, evolutionarily inferior. Jassy smiled. But we're the ones who built this place. Our ancestors created everything you use, your FTL drives, your quantum computers, your entire civilization, before deciding to experience what it meant to evolve naturally again. Commander Thexal's proud stance crumbled. The Krathari, who dominated the galaxy for 12,000 years, suddenly understood they'd been playing with inherited toys. Daniel laughed through their neural link. Guess theory does stop plasma bolts after all. The simulation ended, but the implications were just beginning. In the real vault, Floating in the space between galaxies, ancient systems activated for the first time in 3 million years. Humanity had finally come home.